It's very difficult to introduce myself now because it all depends upon where you start. I have been many women over many decades. I was a mother for a long time, a daughter for a long time. I guess it was 1952. Mel and I decided to build a house. We got a white person to purchase the property because we couldn't buy it. We went through about 5 years of death threats. The third grader, when he entered school, the fundraiser was a minstrel show, and all of the teachers and the administrators were in blackface. As soon as I learned they were going to have a minstrel show and confronted the principal. And he was very embarrassed, but we learned together. I did go that evening and sat in the front row and cried all the way through it, but I made them perform the minstrel show before me. And that was the first time that I took on the system, but that was not the last time. I took a job which put me in the mayor's office, and out of that came a politically active Betty that I didn't know existed. My father, my first husband, and my second husband all died within 3 months in 1987. And I spent about 3 months after they passed kind of wondering who I was. And right behind the grief was this incredible feeling of emancipation, because that was the first time I was not being defined by the men in my life. I now look back and I know that every now and then, ever since 1776, the democracy has gone through these periods of chaos. We're in one of them now. And that's when democracy is being redefined. That's when we have access to the reset buttons. The park happened, I was in my 80s. I felt that I could have a voice. And the city of Richmond had been selected as the only place in the country that had enough still standing structures through which to interpret that history. But when I came here and saw the first PowerPoint and realized that all the structures that would have told my story had been removed. The story they were telling about Rosie the Riveter was a legitimate story, that the feminist story was an important story that needed to be told, but that story was incomplete. As an interpretive ranger, I'm making the connections with that history, not only for the people who lived it, but the people who must learn from it. I'm living a grand improvisation. I'm making it up as I go along, because all the models are gone now. All the naysayers are gone. Life is what I say it is. Inside, there's this 35-year-old woman that's wondering what happened.